Hi, Bill. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. It was a good one. It was a good one. So, but I'm glad it's over. A lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm not on the board anymore, but I answer a lot of questions and get a lot of phone calls about it. So I'm very happy with the results. Uh, I think it's on the verge of being absolutely great. I mean, it's an event that pilots want to put in their resume. Actually, they want to do well. They want to put it in their logbooks. They love flying here. They know they're going to get very competitive tasks, and it's a well-oiled organization. Just everything about it's great. Even the people from Albuquerque were here looking at what we do. So the head honchos from Albuquerque came in, say, "How do you do it?" Why? And I said, "Well, we copy some of the things from you, but we create some things ourselves." And that's the ultimate compliment, I think, because that's the biggest thing in the world. We are not the biggest thing in the world,
No.
nor do we want to be.
Well, you can't.
But we want to be the best that we can possibly be.
Yeah.
And I think we are. I mean, I think we're ahead of a lot of events. We are ahead of a lot of it. I know we are.
Yeah.
So.
Well, with pilots kind of scheduling their year,
Yeah.
their
Oh, yeah,
season
yeah.
around this
Yeah.
race.
And there are a lot of events every weekend across the nation, and we pull from all parts of the nation, and so that again is the ultimate compliment. It's just not weekenders. So.
Well, it's and a lot of pilots came in. A lot of them brought their families, and I think they spent more than $100.
Oh, I think they spent a lot more than $100. We did some studies a few years ago on the effect on the economy. They're very positive, and I mean, it's well beyond what you can imagine. But I think that we can say that we equal that or bettered it this weekend. So
Yeah.
it has a real effect on the economy.
Yeah, because most of them stay at hotels, right?
Yeah, and it's exciting. Plus, it adds to the ambiance of Longview, if you will, and it's something that I've noticed is that it's not our race, it's everybody's race, and they take ownership in it, and they're proud to say, well, we have the Great Texas Ballon Race, when they talk to other people, and they've taken ownership in it, they take pride in it, they like it, they support it, and it's come a long way over the last 30 years, so last 49 years.
49 years,
Yeah. So I mean, we started off with nothing, and then we built it into something, so.
Well, you had to live up to the first.
Yeah.
The first
And
word of the name.
we're known nationally quite well, but we're known internationally also. So that's that makes me feel good. It makes everyone else, all the board, feel good. We're kind of proud of that. So. And again, I'm not on the board. I'm enjoying not being on the board, but I still take, it's my pride and joy.
Yeah. Well, people see you, they're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
How, Blake was in second place.
Oh, Blake.
How did he?
He's just now beginning to start practicing, and he's also my pride and joy. I taught him to fly, and I'll tell you, initially when he was like 14 years old, his parents were my crew, and I didn't want to teach him to fly because I was a little nervous about it, and so I didn't want him to get hurt. Well, so he was 14 years old. We built him a platform so he'd be taller and put it at the bottom of the basket. And I said, Blake, if you go down low, you go to the left. If you climb high, we'll go to the right, okay? So in between there's where you steer the balloon. And I said, no, tell me where you're gonna go. He said, I'm gonna go to Longview High School. I said, okay. Where are you gonna land if you were gonna land? I'm gonna land on the football field. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna fly it between the goalposts. Oh yeah, you. Look, I want to see this. Well, he did.
He got
You
the
know,
score.
he,
Got the score.
he 3 points. And I had an adult in the basket with me, giving them real lessons. And I said, okay, go low, you turn left, go high, you turn right. Somewhere in between is where you steer. Where are you going to go? I'm going to go to this field out there. I said, no, we don't go just to a field. We go to a certain point on the field. Like, I want you to fly me not to that field, but to the upper right-hand corner of that field. Okay, that's how I, train. Well, he did come within 3/4 of a mile of the whole field. So with the same steering, and so that shows you that Blake was on it at first, and he went out to take his check ride out in Utah, and I went out there with him, and he said, "Okay, you can chase. Keep your mouth shut, and we'll just wait right here. We'll be back." And so he flies off, and he flies right back and lives right where we took off from, and I was a little concerned because it's such a short flight, and I said, "Well, maybe he didn't do very well." And he said, "This kid, reminds me of Red Hartzell." Well, if you say the name Hartzell, you really mean something. I'm going to start. This was for his private check ride. He's going to pass his private check ride, but we're going to start a commercial check ride right now. At age 16, you can't get a commercial license until you're 18. And so when he was 18, we took him back out there. It was no brainer, So now he is just now beginning to fly again. He's been in college, he's got a new job, he's moved to Longview, and he's in the financial department of business, and he will now be flying regularly, and so he will do nothing but improve. And we're going to Indianola in 2 or 3 weeks, and that's a 9-day event. Trust me, he will do well. I just fly.
Yeah, he's very competitive.
Well,
he's very competitive. I saw him fly Friday, that incredibly short flight.
Oh yeah.
That was just
yeah.
up and down. Because he said he was in the air for until I got to the target, it's 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he took a big risk going skyrocketing.
Oh well, he knows how to do that. His mama worries about that, but it looks at me and says, So it's kind of funny, but he's real good. He's really good. He's my pride and joy as far as all the students I've had. He's by far the best, without a doubt. And I look for bigger and greater things, and he's going to be high on the list. And I think he'll be a national champion soon.
Wow. So handed him the baton.
Yeah, I hope so.
So I guess all in all, it's just, even though one race got canceled due to weather, it's still
yeah. That's Sunday morning. Yeah. We still fight the weather, but we got in Friday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night. We missed Sunday morning. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. So, and I might say that we added something this year. The Albuquerque, which they have 250,000 people on the field, own the field around the Blues, and they have a mass ascension that's quite popular. Ours was so popular, we had them stacked up to I-20. Some of them didn't get here. It was a tremendous success, and I'm sure that they or we will work on it for next year and enhance that, and that will be a good addition to the balloon race. I think it'll be a different perspective from the spectators, because we kind of keep them away from the flying portion of the
the launch.
This puts them right up close.
Me.
So I'm excited about that new thing, and it will make the race better to the public. So.
Good deal. Anything you'd like to add?
Well, from a participant's perspective, I think I saw more people here. I think I'll get the results, but I think it was by far more people, spectators, which that's a good thing, and there were more vendors, and the bands were popular. The whole thing went so smoothly. Now there are internal problems and anything, but I can just give it an A+. I'm telling you, if I were graded, and the staff is so good, and there's so many volunteers. There's hundreds of volunteers. It takes a lot of people to put on one of these things, and they're all so happy, and they're getting up early in the morning. They're tired, and but they still do the job, and it's very impressive to watch the people work and to know what they're doing. They're not people in an orange shirt to me. They're people that are doing a job, and they do it well. And so I'm sure there's need for improvement in some areas, but each year we get better and better and better. I'm very proud of that, And if that is my legacy, that's a good one. I like that,
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
You bet.
Well, Gay, you were here for the whole thing.
It was.
How did it all go?
It went great. It went really good. From the competition flight standpoint, we didn't get to fly as many tasks as we wanted to because of the wind conditions, but we flew enough to have a contest. So great. We didn't get to fly at all yesterday. From the festival standpoint, the weather was very kind to us, and we had a great festival both nights, Friday and Saturday.
Well, good. Was the crowd bigger, smaller, about the same?
The crowd was excellent. Friday night, it was much larger than our normal Friday night crowd, and Saturday was a great crowd too. At least as many as normal, maybe a few more. It was a very good festival.
So I guess the surprise was the Mass Ascension. That was a big success, right?
That was the first year we did it, so we didn't really know what to expect. Would we have 50 people? Would we have 100? I think it was probably a little closer to 1,000. So next year, we learned a lot this year. Next year, we'll have more access points to enter. The ingress and egress will get a little bit faster. And that we were very pleased with the crowd that came, and I think they were all very happy with the show that we put on.
Yeah, I mean, even if they didn't get in, they could still see it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people just pulled over and sat there and watched it.
We got everyone in.
No.
I think we did. If they hung in there with us, I think they were okay with getting in there.
Okay, cool. Economically, quite a boon, I guess, for a lot of Longview retailers.
Yeah. We don't have the exact numbers, and we may never get a real exact number, but the restaurants tell us that it's always a great weekend for them. Of course, the hotels are full. The restaurants are doing a lot of business, and a lot of the retailers see the benefit of it as well.
Yeah. And then, of course, you made a little change at the gate, I guess. A little money.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
More than $100.
Yeah, we made about $100. Yeah. Over the years, we've seen a real switch to more online ticket sales, people buying in advance, which helps everyone. It makes the gates move faster. And it also helps us sort of gauge going into the event, how are we doing? And that's just a technology thing. But yeah, that also helps us get a more accurate count of how many people come in and out.
Yeah, that's great. And I guess, people come in from out of town.
Yeah, lots of them come in from out of town, yeah.
And have you found that they are staying at hotels as well? Or?
Yeah, a lot of them are day trippers, which is great, but a lot of them also are staying in our local hotels because they report to me, well, I can't find a hotel. Where am I going to go? And so it is, yeah, they're staying overnight as well.
Yeah, time to go help out Kilgore maybe.
Yeah, I think they probably do get a little of our overflow.
Yeah, I think so, because these hotel rooms are booked way in advance.
So we put up the pilots, and so you think a pilot and a crew. So I think we estimated this year, not hosting the Nationals, just going back to the 3-day event, we're taking up about 400 room nights. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And then I guess that's just part of the deal with the pilots, right?
Yeah, we put them up. Yeah, they pay an entry fee, and then we pay for their hotel the whole time they're here. So.
Yeah. So that gate money goes to that.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
paying for the race in general.
Yeah. It's an expensive. We've got about a little over a $600,000 budget. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you need the people to come in.
Yeah, we feed. We house those pilots. We feed those pilots. So you average about 2 meals a day. So yeah, it takes a lot of money to do it.
Yeah. You got to rent Mod Cobb as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I guess all in all, just really, there was one race that wasn't run.
So we didn't do the practice flight, and we didn't do our last flight on Saturday.
Yeah.
But we didn't do our last flight on Sunday. But Friday and Saturday, we flew enough tasks to make a good contest.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
It was short and sweet on Friday. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like a mile.
They got up, they got down.
That was pretty much it. Yep.
Yeah.
But it was a safe flight. Any problems?
No, we had a couple of balloonists who had some. We call those sporty landings. They come down fast on Friday, but with the weather and the wind coming in, they were coming down fast, purposely trying to get out of the air fast. A couple little hiccups. No major property damage. No injuries. It was a good year.
Yeah, well, it's good. Yeah, because every once in a while, bad stuff happens.
Yeah.
That's just part of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Anything you'd like to add?
We had a great year. We're always so grateful to our community for supporting this event. We have people who look forward to the event. They get so excited about the event. But really, the Longview community on a whole has embraced this event, and we are so grateful that they support us year after year.
All right. Thanks a lot, Kay.
Thank you.
All right, Sean.
right.
Pretty big event in Longview. Can you call it maybe the biggest event in Longview?
This is the 49th year of the Great Texas Balloon Race, and this is definitely probably the most well-known event for our community. It's really one of those events that is a source of community pride, a source of identity here for Longview. So we're thrilled about how the community comes together, not just to support the event, but actually to put the event on. This is a volunteer-led effort. The city participates in some logistical ways and through some of us participating with the organization, but it really truly is a volunteer-led group. And when you think about all of the different activities that happen across Longview that bring people here, so many of those, it's based on volunteers. It's based on the community saying, we want to do this for Longview. And then that attracts people to come to Longview, and that is beneficial for everyone. When people come to town for events, whether it's the Great Texas Balloon Race or for the Juneteenth events that are coming up this weekend, or for anything else that takes place here at the Mod Cobb Convention Center, those visitors are making an impact, not just at that event, but at businesses across Longview. They're eating in restaurants, they're staying in our hotels, they're shopping in our stores, and hopefully they're having a great experience here in East Texas.
Yeah, it's as a matter of fact, I've heard good luck finding a hotel over this last weekend or at the end of the week even. I mean, just booked solid.
Yeah. So, we have in Longview quite a few hotels. It's one of the things for a community our size. Sometimes we'll hear people say, there's a lot of hotels here, and we are very thankful for that portion of our community, that hotel community, and what they were able to provide. A lot of the business week here is we have a lot of business travelers that are coming and staying here in Longview during the week, and then to be able to have events like the Great Texas Balloon Race or like sports tourism, the events that happen at Lear Park, all the different activities that happen on the weekends help us as a community to have that strong economic foundation, that it's not just industry, it's not just oil and gas or medical or the retail. It really is a well-rounded community with a lot to offer, and so that's what these kinds of events like the Great Texas Balloon Race, it adds those activities for families to do and things for people to want to come here to Longview.
And I guess the event was very well attended. I mean, a lot of people came from out of town.
Yeah.
A lot of people somehow managed to find a hotel room even.
Yeah. I was here throughout the event and had the pleasure of speaking with a lot of folks that had traveled here for the event. I actually talked to several people that were here from San Antonio for the weekend. I talked to a couple that was spending 4 days here in the area just for an anniversary trip, and they wanted to come see East Texas. They weren't from this area, going to be able to explore not just Longview, but kind of the whole area, but making Longview their home base for this trip, and the balloon race, the kind of the hallmark experience of what they're going to be doing here for the weekend. So, lots of stories like that, lots of people that we talk to. At Visit Longview, we receive a lot of the phone calls, right, for the event, and people asking and seeing. And so we hear and meet from all these stories from people that are coming to East Texas specifically for events like the Great Texas Balloon Race. So it's a great piece of Longview's history. It's exciting to be that we're, the balloon race capital of Texas. And so we're proud of that as a community. We're proud that people identify us and be able to explore this sport and our whole community while they're here.
Yeah, and a lot of people, there's a big influx of money. I'm thinking more than $100.
Yeah, when you travel for an event like this, you're bringing money and placing it here within the community, not just buying tickets for the event, but it's buying food, it's going out for restaurants, it's staying in the hotels, it's supporting the community while you do that. And so tourism has an important role in our community with these kinds of events. So we're thrilled with the impact that it has.
All right, anything you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
All right, thanks, Sean.
All right, thank you.